Welcome to the OTP on the practice field. He's the head coach of the Titans Radio Network. He's Dave McGinnis. I do the play-by-play. I'm Taylor Zarzour. The president of everything, Amy Wells, she's back in Nashville, and she left us in control. Well, actually, Todd and Max and Jack, who are behind the scenes, they're in control. Thank the good Lord.
Well, sure they are. We're in good shape. We got it handled. Amy feels really good that we're here.
Okay, well, we've been on the road for a minute here. We were on the road last week in Tampa, spent a few days there, scrimmaged against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, played them in a preseason game, came to Atlanta, practiced against the Falcons, and we're just off the field after watching the Tennessee Titans practice with the Atlanta Falcons in full pads after 2 days. What'd you think?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is not a zero-sum event. This is an event. It's a cumulative event. They got a lot out of it, and I don't grade individuals during this time. I just want to see how, in totality, the whole team is responding. This work is immeasurable as far as to what they're getting out of it, good and bad. So it's a whole learning experience for this young team.
Okay, and I was just about to ask you about that, and you just went there. Since it's a young football team practicing against other teams and established other teams in the National Football League, that's invaluable, correct?
Yeah, and these are two established teams in the NFC South. They're both at the top of the NFC South. And so that's what you want to do. You want to be able to practice against these people. And as I said, it's not a zero-sum event. It's just you got to take it in totality of what it is, and then you take a lot of teachable moments from this type of thing, both positive and negative.
It's good to practice against yourself, but it's even better to practice against somebody else.
It's not the same. It's just not the same at all. I mean, this is I'm really glad that, and plus, I mean, this is this is a pretty extensive ordeal for the team, for us, and it's important. It's important, especially for a young team, that there's only so many ways that you can grow up quickly in the National Football League, and time on task is the best teacher.
My man Todd is shooting right now, and you see the practice field behind us. So basically you have one field where the Falcons offense goes up against the Titans defense, and then another field over here where the Titans offense goes up against the Falcons defense. You mix in some special teams through the course of a 2-hour padded practice, but there's a lot of the first string versus first string work, twos versus twos, etc. And everybody, all 90-plus players, are active for 2+ hours.
Yeah, and that's what you get out of this, is because, when you in a preseason game, I mean, you've only got 4 quarters to disperse reps. I mean, and the reps get very thin in a preseason game. Here, the coaches can control the matchups, and so that's exactly why you do this. And the fact that you've done it back-to-back on the road will pay dividends.
This summer, SeatGeek has your ticket to the best live concerts in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. SeatGeek has the best seat, your seat, for an unforgettable summer. From rock royalty to rap superstars, R&B to country, find it all on SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of Nissan Stadium. Little Caesars is the official pizza partner of your Tennessee Titans. Download the Little Caesars app and get your favorites delivered today. Delivery fees apply. Now, back to the OTP.
As someone that was a head coach in the National Football League and a long-time defensive coordinator and associate head coach for a long time as well, how much are you evaluating players making a roster during these practices compared to what you watch in the preseason games?
Well, I mean, it's part of it. It's part of the evaluation process. There's no list as far as at the top, but this is part of it. Mm-hmm. The thing that you do get out of this, Taylor, you get more reps.
Yeah.
To look at them, and then plus when you do it 2 days in a row like they've done here, you can say, hey, here's what we didn't do well. Here's what we need to concentrate on. That's what you're looking for.
Now, some of you may have seen that Cam Ward was not happy with the way that he practiced on Tuesday, and he let all of his teammates know it and wanted to be better on this Wednesday. Let's just start right there. I thought that Cam had a really good practice on Wednesday.
Yeah,
what did you think?
And again, it's going to be a learning process for him, but not throughout the whole year. The whole year. And I do a lot of radio out of market. People have called, what can he learn from this? He can learn everything, because everything that he's seeing is brand new. It's brand new. So this accelerates his learning curve, and there's going to be some dips in it. But he's got the same attitude that he's had ever since he was drafted, and you just got to stay with it.
A lot of people want to know about the young players, the newcomers with the Titans, and certainly we're going to keep telling you about those guys. We'll get to them in just a minute. But I'll tell you a couple of guys that I've been really impressed with so far in training camp. Number 0, Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, he's not a young player. He's a real player. And that, to me, today even, they had trouble covering Calvin Ridley. The Falcons had trouble with him. They were holding him. Look, this guy is an established veteran on this football team, Taylor. He's one of the linchpins for this team right now.
He looks like he's playing the best football of his life, Coach.
Yeah, I haven't seen him his whole career, but I just know what he's doing right now. And the mindset and the physical shape that he came back in is what you want.
And another guy I wanted to point out was a man that had a career high in rushing yards last year for the Tennessee Titans, ran for over 1,000 yards, Tony Pollard. He's looked terrific, especially today.
Yeah, and the run game is going to be big for this football team because you've got a young quarterback. And so it's not only Tony Pollard, it's the offensive line too, and it's a tight end, it's everybody else. I mean, the run game has got to at least be something that you can hang your hat on.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be dominating, but it has to be able to move the chains so that you're not constantly in third and long, that you put this young offense in, that when defenses, I mean, I've called a lot of defenses in this league. When I know they have to throw, there's a whole lot that I've got on my Rolodex that I can do.
Cam and Calvin are becoming the leaders of the offense. Certainly Cam is becoming one of the leaders, if not the leaders of the football team. But there's a guy on defense that unquestionably is the guy that has everybody's back on this football team, and I'm talking about number 98, Jeffery Simmons.
Oh yeah, I mean, Big Jeff's a quality player in this league, and he's got the mindset, and also he's got the stature, in this now, you only want to take it to a certain point. And again, there were a couple of fights out here today.
Yeah.
That there's going to be fights in these things. You just want to keep it to a minimum. But Jeffery Simmons has got to be, and he'll be a focal point for offenses. He'll be a focal point, believe me.
You mentioned the fights. I mean, nothing was serious. They were just some little scuffles, and then everybody was fine after that. But sort of like seeing the juice that Titans have, especially with Simmons and how defensive all the players are of each other. They have formed a brotherhood during this training camp.
Yeah, you don't want fights because you just can't. I mean, there's a line where you take it to. I've been involved with some very, very aggressive teams in my life, but in the ball game, you can only take it to a certain point. Now, in practices like this, especially in training camp, especially 2 days in a row, I mean, things are going to flare up, and believe me, when you're watching tape the night before, they're saying, well, this dude, Mac Taylor really got after you. You're going to be up against him this time. All of that stuff goes on, but the fights were very inconsequential today.
Yeah, agreed. Well, Jeffery Simmons, we were referencing him yesterday after practice. We had a chance to catch up with number 98 for your Tennessee Titans. All right, we're here with the man, number 98, Jeffery Simmons, not wearing number 98 right now, but you can tell if you're a Tennessee Titans fan, this guy is in the best shape of his entire life. What did it take to this?
A lot of discipline. I think that's my biggest word for this offseason. And now, being disciplined, staying locked into my my nutritionist. She's everything for me right now. Being able to get a new plan, get on a plan that's beneficial for me. My meal prep, taking the right vitamin, taking the right supplements, and just working my tail off in the offseason. But right now it's all about discipline and consistency.
Jeff, you were already one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL. Why did you do this?
I mean, for me, it's all about being available. For me, I could go out there and play, but when I'm at my best is when I'm healthy, when I'm light on my feet. It's just, even with pass rush, I feel good out here. I feel much better than last year. I don't feel like I just got so much inflammation throughout my body. I think that was also one of my key points. When you do blood work, your blood work tell everything. I had so much inflammation in my body, and now, just being able to be available for my teammates, and being out there on the field, I think that's the most important thing, especially throughout the year. Because I know what's going to come on the field. I know what I'm going to do on the field, but, when I'm healthy and I'm feeling my best, can't nobody stop me.
Watching you and your leadership and how much you're coaching all of your teammates out there, you can tell as a guy that came into the league and won and has gone through the last 3 years, you don't want any part of what you just went through again. How important is it to you to be a winner again?
I mean, that's what it's about, especially with all young guys. You know, they don't really know. They say first year, like, just say, for instance, we got Femi. Femi never played with me. You know, him, getting reps with the ones and being out there with the ones. You know, it's all about a teachable moment. Because when I was out there, I had Jarrell Casey, who took me under his wing, talk through things. You know, it's easy to, MF or call somebody their name when they mess up. But, in this league, and we all know, the way I go, the way Femi go. The way Femi go, I go. And as long as we together, as long as I'm helping them out, coaching them, all right, this is what we saw. That's how you win football games. A connected group, especially up front. When we getting after the quarterback, we have to be together. We have to be in this on page, rush lanes, all that. So we're on the same page. And however my role is that, helping the next guy out, that's what it's all about.
And I can tell you love it when Femi comes up to you and asks you questions, right?
Most definitely, man, because you got to have that connection. You got to be able to have, that trust with each other. I think that's what Femi's all about. Femi wants you to trust him. And, one thing about it, he going to ask questions, you going to hear him. But, that's as a vet, as somebody who's been in this league for a couple of years now, 7 years, as a young guy who asks a lot of questions, he understands the game, but he also want to do it perfect. And I tell him everything not going to be perfect, but when we can talk through things, come to the sideline, like, no, Femi, that's not how you do that. And then 2 minutes, you fix it. That's what we want to see, especially myself. Now I can trust you even more.
Jeff, number one for the Tennessee Titans out there does not look like a rookie. He doesn't act like a rookie. You have this fun-natured back and forth that you have with this guy, but you can tell he's already family to you. Is it rare that we just watched him address the entire team? Do rookies usually do that?
No, I think this is my first time, especially since I've been in the league, especially after practice, and that's what it's all about. I mean, he know that he's all starting quarterback. He know the way he go, the offense gonna go. He know well, can't say the first person, but the second person that ball get in, outside of the center is him.
Yeah.
So he know he the head of the snake. So that's the way he should hold his guys accountable. He should hold the team accountable, because one thing about it, we got his back. We behind him. Whatever he say, we're going to listen, and it's vice versa. And that's what he said, hold him accountable. So I think at the end of the day, when you have a young guy like Cam and, you got a team, a bunch of guys that, or pretty much the whole team behind him, that's what you want out of a young guy who, hunger and want to win.
Just for you, not only will I say tighten up, I'll say Hail State. Just for you.
Hail State and tighten up.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Hey, Titans fans, with a Kroger Boost membership, you'll score big with double fuel points, free delivery, and lots more. Go to Kroger.com/boost for details. Kroger, the official grocer of the Tennessee Titans. Tighten up. Home is the forefront of all we do. It's why we're so committed to caring for the places and spaces in which we work and live. Ashley, the official furniture provider of the Tennessee Titans. Now, back to the OTP.
Coach, I mentioned it at the beginning of that interview. He's in the best shape of his life.
Well, and he did it on purpose. I mean, he and J.C. Latham both. I mean, both bigger men that not only cut weight, but they cut body composition, and they cut just the way that their body is shaped. I mean, both of them deserve major credits. And so does our nutrition department, so does the strength and conditioning group. I mean, they all bought into it, and so it should help both of those guys.
Well, and we talked about it with Jeff in the interview that he's hopefully more versatile now, losing a few pounds. He hasn't lost any strength, but being the defensive-minded guy you are, can you move him around a little bit more?
And we'll see. It all depends on matchups. I mean, that all depends on matchups, and that's when your game planning starts in. That they will, that Tracy Rocker and Denard Wilson, those guys will start putting together. When you start putting together matchups in game planning, then that's where you can decide what matchup is best in which circumstances for Jeffery Simmons.
All right, Coach, before we get to the game on Friday, any young players that caught your eye the last couple of days?
No, I just don't look at players individually in this. I mean, it's how they respond as a group.
Okay.
And look, when you talk about young players, this is a young team. You can just start naming players on this team, and they're all young and they're all learning. So I take them as a group. I mean, really right now, because that's what you've got to do, because no single young player is going to be the guy that's going to tip it. They've got to do it together.
I'll just say Alec Iomanner and Gunnar Helm. Alec, of course, a wide receiver, a rookie, and Gunnar Helm, a tight end from Texas. Saw them running with the ones a lot. So some young guys.
They're going to have to, Taylor. I mean, start looking at the numbers, and you start looking at, again, this is a rebuilding football team, and so that signifies that your young players are going to have to start. That's how you start rebuilding. You start rebuilding with young players in the draft, and then you've got to let them play.
Okay, now, Coach, guys will rest the rest of the day. They'll go through a walkthrough tomorrow,
Right.
Move hotels. They're going to move from Braselton, Georgia, back to Atlanta, right next to the stadium, and get ready to play the Falcons on Friday. What's the significance of game 1 to game 2 in the preseason?
Well, there's things that you can work on. And again, they're not going to game plan for this game. It's just, I heard Denard in the thing that you had with him,
Yeah.
on the OTP. People need to watch that. They're not game planning this thing. They're not game planning at all. But you can learn from the tape. The tape has got very teachable moments. That's what you learn from.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be, of course, on Friday night on the Tennessee Titans radio network. Listen to us just after 7 o'clock Eastern time. Of course, the pregame show will start just after 6 o'clock Eastern time. I can't wait. It's been a heck of a trip. 10 days, 9 nights on the road with you, Coach Mack.
Well, you probably didn't like that part of it, but you like.
I do love it.
You like the rest of it. I thought it's very, very beneficial for this team. I mean, and it really helps you, come together in a lot of different ways. I really like what we're doing here, and everybody's involved with the same thing, all the way from the ops crew all the way to us. Everybody's experiencing the same thing, and it pulls you closer together for those that are going to make this at least initial 53 roster.
What are you talking about? I love being with you. You're the head coach of our team. You make everybody fall in line. I like your leadership.
No, you have to say that. You have to say that because we're on. This is on tape. This is live on tape.
Coach, I love being with you, my friend. Look forward to the game on Friday night.
Let's go. We're ready.
All right. Look forward to that. Thanks to everybody behind the scenes for all of their hard work. Titans and Falcons Friday night from Atlanta on the Titans Radio Network. This is the OTP.